A few years ago, while walking through the bustling streets of Los Angeles, I came across a homeless man sitting quietly on the sidewalk. His sign simply read, "Anything helps." The city was alive with people rushing by, barely noticing him, but something about his presence made me stop. I reached into my pocket, handed him a few dollars, and then, almost on a whim, I asked him a question that would stick with me for years. If I gave you $1 million right now, tax-free, what would you do with it? Instantly, his eyes lit up with excitement. He started talking animatedly, painting vivid pictures of the life he'd have. Luxury cars, a big house, designer clothes, fancy dinners. For 5 whole minutes he described a world of comfort and extravagance, a life completely different from the one he knew. Then I asked a follow-up question. What would you do after you bought all that? Suddenly he went silent. The energy drained from his face. He stared off into the distance, lost in thought, as if he'd never considered life beyond those first purchases. That moment has stayed with me ever since. It wasn't about judging him or his dreams. Instead, it was a powerful lesson about mindset, about how we think about money, opportunity, and what truly matters. The truth is, most of us, no matter our background, spend more time dreaming about what we'd buy if we had more money than thinking about how we'd keep it, grow it, or use it to build something lasting. The real trap isn't just a lack of money. It's a mindset that equates wealth with spending, with instant gratification, with showing off what we have instead of building a foundation for the future. That's why so many lottery winners who suddenly come into millions end up broke within a few years. They upgrade their lives, buy the things they always wanted, but never upgrade their habits or their understanding of money. They never learn to manage their finances, invest wisely, or even say no to the endless temptations that come with sudden wealth. The money disappears as quickly as it arrived. A poor mindset, when amplified by a windfall, doesn't solve problems. It just leads to bigger, more expensive mistakes. The same habits that kept someone stuck before, now have more resources to burn through. That's why, before we even talk about saving, investing, or building wealth, we have to start with the software running in your brain. Your beliefs, your habits, your automatic reactions to money, these are the real foundation. If your financial programming is faulty, if you haven't learned how to think about money in a healthy, sustainable way, then no amount of cash will ever be enough. You'll always find yourself back at zero. You'll always end up with the same result: an empty account, a feeling of insufficient funds, and the frustration of wondering where it all went. This is about more than just money. It's about debugging that mental code, breaking free from the habits, beliefs, and pressures that keep you stuck. When you change your mindset, you change your future, and that's worth more than $1 million. The poverty mindset isn't about intelligence or effort, it's a set of beliefs about money, often learned in childhood. Thoughts like money is evil or I'll never be rich become self-fulfilling prophecies. If you believe you're destined to be poor, you'll act accordingly, avoiding opportunities and sabotaging your own progress. This creates a scarcity mentality, where your brain is stuck in survival mode, focused only on the next bill. A victim mentality, blaming outside forces, strips you of power to change. Wealthy people take responsibility and see problems as challenges, not excuses. To break free, challenge your beliefs. When you think, I can't afford that, ask, how can I afford that? You have to believe you can be wealthy before you ever will be. The latte factor isn't really about coffee at all. It's a metaphor, a way to highlight how the little things we buy every day, often without thinking, can quietly drain our wallets over time. It's about those small, frequent expenses, like a daily coffee, a snack, or a quick rideshare, that seem harmless in the moment, but add up to a significant sum. Think about it, it's not just the coffee. It's the daily lunch out, the streaming subscriptions you barely use, the impulse buys online, and the little treats you grab on the go. These are the tiny leaks in your financial boat. For example, a $15 lunch 5 days a week doesn't feel like much, but over a year, that's $3,600. Money that could have gone toward your goals. If you invested that $3,600 every year, over decades, it could grow into hundreds of thousands of dollars, thanks to the power of compound interest. The truth is, most people have no idea where their money actually goes each month. That's why creating a budget is so important. It gives you clarity and control. A budget isn't a prison for your money. It's actually a freedom plan. It's your way of telling your money what to do, instead of wondering where it went. When you budget, you're in charge. You decide where every dollar goes, whether it's toward bills, savings, or something fun. Your first mission is simple. Track every penny you spend for 1 month. Don't change your habits yet, just observe. Use whatever works for you, an app, a spreadsheet, or even a notebook. The key is to be consistent and honest. You'll probably be surprised at what you find. Forgotten subscriptions, takeout meals you barely remember, and convenience splurges can really add up. Remember, this isn't about feeling guilty, it's about gathering data so you can make better choices for your future. Once you see the truth about your spending, you can start making conscious, intentional decisions with your money. Ask yourself, is that daily latte or any other small habit really worth more than your long-term financial security? Awareness is the first step to plugging those financial leaks. Once you know where your money is going, you can redirect it toward what truly matters. Be intentional with every dollar you earn. Make your money work for you, not the other way around. That's how you start building real wealth, one conscious choice at a time, turning small changes into big results for your future. We live in a world of instant gratification. Streaming, delivery, one-click shopping. Everything we want is just a tap away, and it feels good to get what we want, exactly when we want it. Whether it's binge-watching a new series, ordering takeout, or buying the latest gadget online, the reward is immediate. Our lives are filled with these quick hits of pleasure, and it's easy to get used to the rush. But here's the catch. Our brains are now trained to expect instant rewards, making it harder to focus on goals that take time. Building wealth is the opposite of instant gratification. It's slow, sometimes tedious, and requires patience and discipline. Watching your savings grow can feel boring compared to the excitement of a new purchase, but it's this slow process that leads to real financial security. Credit cards and buy now, pay later options make it dangerously easy to buy now and worry about the consequences later. This convenience can quickly spiral into mounting debt and regretful spending. The more we indulge, the harder it becomes to break free from the cycle. Marketers know this and exploit it with urgency, FOMO, and relentless ads. Limited time offers, countdown timers, and only a few left messages are designed to trigger your impulse to buy before you think. To break the cycle, you need to create friction. One powerful method is the 24-hour rule. For any non-essential purchase over $50, force yourself to wait a full day before buying. This pause gives you space to reflect and decide if you truly need or want the item. If, after 24 hours, you still feel the urge and can justify the purchase, then consider going ahead. But more often than not, you'll find the excitement has faded, and you no longer feel the need to buy. Most of the time, the urge fades away, and you'll be glad you waited. You'll avoid impulse buys that would have brought only temporary satisfaction. This simple rule puts you back in control of your spending. It helps you make decisions with intention, not just emotion. It gives your rational brain time to catch up with your impulses, allowing you to make choices that align with your long-term goals instead of fleeting desires. Over time, you'll save thousands by avoiding regretful purchases. The money you don't spend impulsively can be invested or saved, building a foundation for your future. Delayed gratification is the real secret to wealth. It's not about denying yourself forever, but about making thoughtful choices that benefit you in the long run. Make it a habit to pause before you buy. Even a short delay can make a big difference in your financial life. Your future self will thank you for every moment you chose patience over impulse. The rewards of self-control compound over time, leading to a happier, wealthier you. We inherit more than looks from our parents. We inherit their money, beliefs, and habits. If you grew up around financial stress, debt, and scarcity, that becomes your normal. These lessons aren't taught, they're absorbed, shaping your identity. Breaking the cycle takes courage. When you start changing, you might face resistance from family who don't understand. It's not always malicious. It's fear of the unknown. To break a generational curse, you have to say, "This stops with me." Seek new information, find mentors, and consciously unlearn limiting beliefs. You can create a new legacy of wealth for your family. Our friends and social circles shape our financial habits as much as family. Keeping up with the Joneses now means keeping up with people who are often broke, thanks to debt and social media illusions. Social media amplifies the pressure to spend for appearances, not reality. This leads to overspending, debt, and feeling inadequate. Being frugal can feel isolating, but prioritizing your goals over social acceptance is key. Curate your social circle and your feed. Surround yourself with people who support your financial goals. Unfollow accounts that make you feel envious or inadequate. Fill your life with inspiration, not comparison. Your financial journey is unique. Don't compare your start to someone else's highlight reel. True wealth is freedom, not impressing others. Live on your own terms. Let's get practical. Change starts with small, consistent actions. First, pay yourself first. Set up an automatic transfer to savings or investments every payday. Save before you spend, your budget will adapt. Start small if you need to, but make it automatic and consistent. Next, set clear, specific, written goals. I want to be rich isn't a goal. I'll save $10,000 by December is. Write your goals where you'll see them daily. Finally, educate yourself. You don't need a finance degree, but you do need the basics. Read books, listen to podcasts, watch reputable YouTube channels, spend 30 minutes a day learning about money. This investment in knowledge pays the highest returns. The more you know, the more confident you'll feel. Take action, even if it's small. Progress compounds. With the right mindset and habits, it's time to build your financial fortress. Start with an emergency fund, 3 to 6 months of expenses in a high-yield savings account. This isn't an investment, it's insurance against life's surprises. Next, attack high-interest debt, especially credit cards. Use the snowball or avalanche method, but just start. Getting out of debt is like taking off a weighted vest. Once debt is gone, start investing. Low-cost index funds or ETFs are simple and effective. Consistency and time are key. Invest regularly, no matter what the market does. Let compound interest work its magic. It's slow at first, but unstoppable over decades. Your money earns money and that money earns more. This is how you build lasting wealth. Protect your future one brick at a time. Your fortress will stand strong. We've covered mindset, habits, social pressure, and practical steps. It can feel overwhelming, but focus on the next step. Track your spending, set up an automatic transfer, or read one chapter of a finance book. The journey is a marathon, not a sprint. You'll stumble, but that's part of the process. The goal isn't perfection, it's progress. Every choice is a vote for your future self. The difference between staying stuck and building wealth isn't luck, it's knowledge and action. You have the power to break old patterns and write a new story. The past doesn't define your future. You have the pen. Go write a masterpiece. The best time to start was yesterday. The second best time is right now.